Hi, this is Mitch Maynard. Thanks for taking the time to learn a little bit about frames and how it is that I designed this innovative platform for helping developers to be able to write the code they want to write with HTML5 and on the front end and Python on the back end. And how easy it is to use this web interface to build these applications and then to be able to share the application with others. So one of the great purposes of this would be if you have an idea, you want to POC something, you want to share some functionality with someone. It could be in a form, it could be in a frame. So let me go ahead and finish logging in real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my last part of my tenant. And when you use this, you'll have the same login credentials. I go ahead, I hit login. And what you'll notice is this looks a lot more like a desktop application. It actually looks more like a desktop itself. So you'll notice that you have a series of shortcuts. You have a menu that you can launch, having functionality available. These things are all things that you can manipulate and modify for whatever you want to do, whatever you want your user to have access to. So if you happen to develop something and you want to share it with someone for a proof of concept, you'll be able to just simply add a shortcut right up here and then launch the frame that has the functionality. You can have it so that you can have two frames, two shortcuts that somebody can experience one versus another one, and then say, hey, I want that first one. So there's a lot of POC functionality that's available, but as neat as that is, it can build whatever complex front end that you want. So let me go ahead and kind of show you around a little bit. I don't want to take too much time on this initial view, but a frame is basically something that looks like an operating system form. We have a title bar, we have various controls, we can move these frames around the background, the page. You'll notice they sit on top. Within here is an actual, I refer to it as a component page. So as a component, it would have elements, controls, and programming. So to show you what's back behind here, let me go ahead and open up a manage component page instance. And let me go ahead and pick on the new frame. So in the new frame, let me bring it over to the left again. You can see here that this has the controls, frame name. So if for some reason, let's just make an example here. If I want to change something so that it reflects here, I can actually say make or name for the frame, and then I'll just put a 1 there. So I have to put a commit note. So this is an interesting feature of this. It will automatically keep track of every time that you save as a separate instance. To me, that's got a lot more of a benefit to me as a developer when I'm iterating through versions than to be making commit, and then trying to squash them and things typical. So let me go ahead and just say added 1 for demo. So if I want to and the code was not formatted just right, I can format it. Added 1 for the demo, I can now hit save. Now what I'm going to show you is that when I refresh this, we should see frame name, name for frame. Oh, right here, name for frame 1. We should see it down here. So if I refresh, and you'll see it does show up. That's because the way that I designed this, the code that's here actually resides in a data repository. So when someone launches it from wherever, if I close this and I want to launch it from the menu here, I can say I want a new frame, and sure enough, it's right there. That is the beauty of the way I develop frames, is that you can code and view and code and view in ways that, yeah, you can right click for a browser and do those things. But what's going to be very interesting is when we add the element of the Python code. So here, let me give you an example of the Python code. Oh, before I do that, let me show you the Git history. This is something that's pretty interesting. I don't know if I have much history in here. Let me pull up that manage component. It probably had a lot more history. So you'll notice when you work in these, see, you can see these are all the instances that have been saved for modifications to be viewed. So as simple as this is hey, you know what? I remember it was then that I had that code in there, so I can click and it'll show me that code. And so then I could even compare it to code that I did, a month ago or something. And so, as we can see, this code is different. But that's the beauty, is that your code history becomes a resource. Every time you save, you have to save so that you can view, and if you save when you view, then you have it as an instance. So it's really powerful, very fast. So my idea is that a developer could come in and create a new frame, fill it out, put in some controls, write a Python method to talk to an API or something of that nature, and then there you go. You can put a shortcut here, and you've got a front end talking to a back end, and that back end could talk to anything. It could talk to a database, it could talk to, so let's just take a look here what it has. So I'm going to submit. Oh, I already had that one up. So in here, you'll see this is traditional. This is just what you'll put in for the Python code. So the Python code, I have a method here. I'm importing in JSON. I'm actually stripping out some information, looking for some attributes in a JSON object. And then you can see I'm creating a SQL statement for parsing against a database. And I have complete control over all of this. If I want to do this, or for example, let's take a look at the one that I have for the get AI message. So in here, you'll see that we have information. You can see part of my key, I'm not worried. But basically, you can see that we're creating headers and we're creating a payload that we're then sending to OpenAI. And that's how we end up getting our response. This is how this comes back. So it is really this easy to add code to connect and talk to and return values from another API. So I can actually I can show you, just to make this more simple. This is why once you have a lot of these open, you can rotate across to different ones. But if you wanted to just sort of start clean, I can clean it up. They're all still there, and then if I want to bring them back, I can bring them back this way. But I can go to AI Code Assist, and then you'll see that that code that I have, actually, if I put in create an HTML form for logging in. Now the beauty is, keep in mind, I can have two of these things going. That one could be spinning while I'm like, hi, right? I mean, it's multi-functional, not necessarily, yeah, we'll call it multi-threaded. But if I want, I can have two of them running at the same time. Create div for showing a alert message. Okay. So I got to change it. So now if I click on this and it's running, and I click on this and it's running, you can see that we have multiple processing. So me, I'm a multitasker. So in this case here, I've got one. This one took a little longer to get than this one did. And so as you see this, we now can see that we have the information that we need. And this actually has a login form. So the amazing thing here is that if you and I, we want to create a frame, it's going to be this easy. Let me go ahead and stack this guy over here. And we want to create a new frame, and I'll just kind of show you how easy it is here. So the frame, we're going to do demo frame. And demo functionality. And we already had that in there because I was playing around with it earlier. We're going to do arrow right. So I create the frame. I have a little flag in there. So now I have the ability to put code into this new frame. So let me move it over to the right. And of course, the bigger the screen is, the easier it is for you to have all kinds of different frames open. So if I go here and I say, here, I'm going to put this in, Control, I paste it in. Oh, I am on a Mac, so okay. So now if I want to initial load of for demo. So you can see I'm putting in this. I can format the code. It formatted it. And then now I can hit save. So if I want to see what that looked like, there it is. This is an alert message. Now if I wanted, I could actually add a button. Here we could style it. So if I have a style that I want, here's the CSS. And what you're going to notice is I have not taken away any ability to do coding. This is not a low code environment. What this is this strips away everything that is repetitive, redundant, all of those things. So as a developer, I can go in and go here. I'm going to put in a style. Yeah, style. And go down to the bottom, and I can put in a style. So this allows for us developers the ability to have complete control over whatever it is that we have. So let's get rid of this. Here's our alert. Alert is on the class style. So we'll put in here added CSS. So let's go ahead and just format it out. Okay, hit save. Now view it. There it is. So now we'll go back to how we even launched this. Let's go ahead and close this guy. And let's go to, we'll get rid of this. And so now we'll go into our components. And we can then find a demo frame. Be good if I could remember. There you go. So you can see now the history. So it was auto-created, which means it was created with no code in it. Then you can see the next step is load it with just this, and then we have to load here. So you'll be able to create. Now, if I want, I can actually resurrect this so that it is the latest. So if I put in here, that is the latest. So let me go back to here. Okay, updated latest, and then save. Now, when I want to see that frame, if I view it, it's going to show it without the styling, which is what that version was. So if we go here and we refresh, get history, we'll see now that we have a fourth. Now the same thing all applies to the creation of Python code. It's not very complicated. We just type in the method we want, put in that we want to call it, because again, this is going to be storing in the database is where all the code resides. So therefore, all that code is stored it doesn't get compiled. It actually is drawn in and executed. So that allows us the flexibility within a web that essentially we can do whatever we want to do. And you can do it right from a browser. Now, the interesting thing about this, too, is that I created the environment in such a way that, let's just say, we want to reduce this a little bit. And let's say you want to do this on your phone. Well, in this case, this is what it's going to look like on your phone. You will have the ability to write code on your phone. You'll have the ability to modify let's go back to our home here. You'll have the ability to modify existing code right on your phone. You can actually, let's just see, we got a history there. Let's submit. You'll be able to make those modifications here, hit save, and then run it again. So the neat thing about this is it's so flexible and so easy for a developer to use to create POCs or even full-fledged enterprise applications using this innovative format of how it is that there's no learning curve here. Shortcuts and a menu of choices. So I'll stop here today, but I want to thank you very much. I'm really excited to share this with developers who have felt the restrictions that come from loading in really large JavaScript frameworks and all of the work that goes into maintaining that code, doing all of the things to compile the code, to view the code, changing environments that if you've been through an upgrade of React or Angular, you know how painful it is. But in this case, this opens up the world to you. You will have complete freedom to be able to do whatever it is that you want. And instead of hours or days, we're talking minutes. Thank you very much. I hope to hear from you later. Bye-bye.